Imagine someone walks into the class with a photo of their friend and holds it in front of the attendance camera, and then boom, the system marks that friend as present. That is the problem that we wanted to solve. So we built ProxyGuard, a face recognition attendance system that does not only ask, who are you? Are you actually you? It also asks, are you actually here right now? Face recognition sounds secure because the system can identify a person from their face. But identification alone does not prove that the real person is standing in front of the camera. A photo can still contain the correct face, a video replay can still blink, and once the system recognizes someone, it may continue trusting that identity even if the real person moves away. So, the real problem is not the recognition. ProxyGuard combines face recognition with a live challenge, duplicate checkings, multiple face detection, and identity continuity. The goal is very simple: accept the real student, reject suspicious attempt, and the last one, keep enough evidence for the lecturer to review what happened. For face enrollment, we created a small multi-post dataset for 3 registered participants. Each person contributes 15 images, 3 facing forward, 3 looking down, 3 facing right, 3 facing left, and 3 looking up. These images are not used to train a new artificial intelligence model, but instead, the system converts each face into a numerical encoding and uses those encodings as references using live recognition. The different head direction matter because the liveness challenge asks users to move naturally. A system trained on only one front-facing image would be much more likely to lose their identity during those movements. We also use 2 additional participants as unknown users. Their faces will deliberately excluded from enrollment, so we could test whether the system registers people who are not registered. ProxyGuard uses 2 main liveness sessions, a blink and a randomized head movement. The random instruction matters because of fixed movements is easy to predict or prepare in advance. One attempt may ask the users to turn left, and then one another may ask them to turn right. But liveness alone is not enough. Imagine the system recognizes a real student, starts the challenge, and then someone replaces that student with a full image. If the system keeps trusting the original identity, the attack could still succeed. So, ProxyGuard tracks the identity continuity. It checks whether the same face remains in roughly the same position and maintains the control of the challenge. If another face enters the frame, the challenge pauses. If the original identity disappears or the face box suddenly transfers to another student, the system breaks the continuity instead of blindly continuing. This is also why the failed liveness attempts still keep the recognized student's name. The lecturer can see who was recognized, what failed, and why the attempt was rejected. The lecturer begins by selecting a subject and week, then starts the attendance session. The camera loads the known face encodings and prepares the recognition engine. When the registered students enter the frames, ProxyGuard first identifies the face and waits for the identity to become stable. The student is then asked to blink and complete a randomized head movement. Once both checks are completed, attendance is confirmed. The system stores the student's name, session, results, reason, snapshot, and the decision time. If the same student tries to check in again during the same session, ProxyGuard recognizes the student identity and checks the existing attendance log. Because that student already has a confirmed record, the system stops the attempt and marks it as a duplicate without requiring another full liveness challenge. Next, we deliberately fail the liveness test. The student is still recognized correctly, but because the required movement is not completed within the allowed time, the attempt is rejected as the liveness timeout. We also test a proxy style situation by introducing another face or a full image into the frame. When multiple faces appear, the challenge pauses. If the active face is replaced, the identity continuity check prevents the new face from continuing with the original student's identity. To test a more advanced proxy attempt, we use a live video call instead of a static photo. A registered participants join the call remotely while another person held the phone in front of the attendance camera. In this case, the remote participants passed the system checks and attendance was confirmed. This reproduces a known limitation of the current prototype. Randomized blink and head movement challenges cannot reliably distinguish a live person behind the camera from a live person displayed through a video call. The lecturer dashboard separates confirmed attendance from failed or suspicious attempts. The present tab shows students who successfully completed the verification, while the attempts tab contains duplicates, unknown users, liveness, failures, and other blocked events. The dashboard updates automatically when the new attendance records appear. The lecturer can filter attempts by region, search for a student, inspect the snapshot, and view session level analytics. ProxyGuard does not automatically accuse a student of proxy attendance. Instead, suspicious attempt enter a review workflow. The lecturer can inspect the evidence, mark an attempt as accepted or suspicious, and add a note explaining the decision. A role-based assistant also summarizes the session and highlights areas that may need attention, such as repeated duplicate attempts, unresolved reviews, or a high number of liveness failures. ProxyGuard shows that attendance verification becomes much more stronger when identity recognition is combined with liveness, duplicate detection, identity continuity, evidence logging, and also human review. The prototype can confirm genuine students, reject unknown users, detect repeated attendance, preserve useful evidence for failed liveness attempt, and also interrupt suspicious phase transfer situations. However, it is still a prototype. The evaluation uses only 5 participants, and more testing will be needed across different lighting conditions, cameras, distances, and larger student populations. Live video call replay also remains an important limitation because a real remote person can blink and follow randomized instruction through a screen. Stronger presentation and attack detection will be required in future works. And that's all from us, including the demo, further explanation, and the implementation of the system that we have already done. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your time.